Hey everyone, thank you for joining our webinar here today. Really excited to share with you a little bit more about Service Cloud Voice and Amazon Connect. A little bit of an overview of what the product is. Also introduce you if you're unfamiliar with NeuroFlash as a company. Then we're going to take you through a really exciting demo that Bobby's put together and wrap up with how to better partner and engage with us on your accounts. So before we get into all that, I just want to introduce myself really quick. My name is Anthony Chandler. I am an account executive here on the Amazon Connect and Service Cloud Voice team. I cover accounts in the US East as well as Canada. Yeah, we're looking forward to partnering with anybody here. So before we go into it, I will pass it over to Bobby really quick, just introduce himself, and then we'll get going.
Hi everyone, my name is Bobby Lasoy. I'm a solution engineer here at NeuroFlash. I cover all of the Amazon Connect projects that we have within NeuroFlash. Excited to give you guys a demo today.
Great. So like I already briefly went over, again, we're going to just start with an intro to NeuroFlash. So let you know who we are as a company, as a partner, a little bit of our history, where we specialize, some of our customers. And then we're going to go into an overview of Service Cloud Voice. So a little bit more of what it is, why you should care about it, and how it works with Amazon Connect. And then we'll go into the demo, show you a bunch of cool use cases. You can see the look and feel of it. And then again, we'll wrap up with just how to best engage with us. So yeah, just to start off, right? So who is NeuroFlash? We're one of the top partners in the ecosystem for both AWS and Salesforce. We've been around for about 7 years. Started as a Salesforce partner, really focusing pretty much exclusively on the contact center in our early days. And that's because a lot of our founders, our leadership came from a long history of contact center background experience, have over 20 years of experience in the industry, working for large companies, doing a lot of the large contact center deployments and IVR builds for some of the largest brands, some of the biggest airlines, banks, insurance companies, et cetera. Really a lot of skilled leadership in that area. We became Amazon partners in 2020 when the Service Cloud Voice product was announced, or the partnership was announced between Salesforce and Amazon. Dove right into that, and now we're very happy to say that we are the top partner for both Amazon Connect and Service Cloud Voice in the ecosystem. Done more deployments than anybody else in the space. With, I know the slide here says about 150, but honestly, I think this is a little outdated, probably over 200 at this point. And then just beyond being an implementation partner, right? We've also been recognized for our leadership in certain areas. So you see down those logos on the bottom there. We do have a recognized competency in conversational AI. Again, a lot of our leadership, a lot of our delivery team came from that background, working at a company called Nuance, which you may be familiar with, who at the time were leaders in conversational IVR and natural language processing. And brought a lot of that expertise over here. So really strong in that area. One of the only firms really in the space that has the ability in-house to build IVRs. We have data analysts on staff. We have conversational designers, folks that you're not really going to find a lot of other partners, and that you may have to go look elsewhere for. So really proud of that. We also have a retail competency that kind of really was just a result of a lot of our work during the pandemic. A lot of our customers all of a sudden found that retail companies found they needed to switch all their operations to online, and thus needed to scale up their contact center. So we did a lot of very quick implementations to get folks over to Service Cloud Voice and Amazon Connect. A little bit more of us as a partner, or more around what our services are. So we do everything, I guess I would say the full spectrum, the full life cycle of an implementation. And that starts with advisory work. So we do have a full advisory practice who can help you, or help your customers, I should say, figure out the why of a project and help align the people, process, and technology, and make sure that there's a comprehensive plan and a real strategy behind an implementation versus just diving in. It really helps get stakeholder alignment, buy-in from leadership, and it helps customers who maybe are unsure or unfamiliar with the technology to better understand what they're about to get into, and make sure that everybody is aligned and marching towards the same direction. We then, of course, do implementation services, change management, and then in post go live on day 2, we also offer what we call our onward managed services, which encompasses both 24/7 or 8x5 support. That we can be that first line of defense for any bugs or downages that, or I should say outages that need to be resolved. We do support our customers in that, and then we have managed services part of that as well, meaning it's a fixed capacity way of continuously improving the solution that's already been deployed. So making sure that any as-move changes need to happen, and also just making sure the solution doesn't get stale, right? So after day 1, making sure that any new technology that comes down the pipe, any enhancements to that is incorporated into the build. Any changes in business requirements, external environment that might need to be accounted for. So yeah, we definitely can help if a customer is just getting started, want to dip their toe in, understand what Connect is, what Service Cloud Voice is, through the implementation, and then after support that on an ongoing basis. And the last thing I'll say about the company, I think that makes us stand out, is that we are an outcomes-driven company. So everything we do is aligned to what is the greater kind of vision, and how does this align to what the higher level business goals are as a company. So making sure that every implementation can be tied to actual value. And the way we do that is we work with customers before the implementation even gets started to identify, what are the key KPIs, what are the things you actually want to get out of this. We're not here just to implement new technology for technology's sake. We usually have some measures that we're tracking towards the business, whether that's cost savings, so maybe more deflection in the IVR, or shorter agent handle time so that agents can handle more customers, and also increase CSAT scores, right? So identifying those real KPIs, measuring the baseline when we start, and then being able to show in real hard tangible numbers the improvement post go live. So again, very, very tied to outcomes. Everyone at our company is measured on it, is compensated on it. So we all take it very seriously, and it's a key differentiator for some of our customers. Just a little bit of a NASCAR logo slide here, but really the point of this is you can see there's a lot of great, top Fortune 500 brands here. But what really stands out is that we're not, siloed or niched in any one industry, right? So we work across, as you can see here, large automobile manufacturers, financial services firms, banks, insurance companies, global manufacturers, healthcare, right? So chances are, if your customer has a specific industry they're in, or a use case that's kind of tailored to the industry, we've probably seen it. We probably have a reference, probably have a customer story that we can speak to, and just give your customer the the confidence that we've been there before as a company, and that we know what their unique needs are. So want to get into kind of what Service Cloud Voice is, some of the benefits, and why it matters to you as an account manager at AWS. So this is just kind of speaking more to the overall partnership. I'm sure you've heard of many things about the Salesforce and Amazon partnership over the years. It grows stronger every year and adds more and more products that work and work together to create a kind of a comprehensive solution for your customers. So obviously today we're talking about contact center transformation, so a Service Cloud Voice product, but just know that it really spans across the entire spectrum. Every kind of customer touch point and every aspect of their business can be served usually by a combination of AWS and Salesforce. So with AWS running, or say Salesforce running on AWS itself, obviously it provides, or I should say AWS provides that scale, and all the data running in the background that Salesforce can then use in the front end for crunching numbers, deep analytics and insights, et cetera. We have integration tools that can help use MuleSoft and connectors with AWS to help parse that data, and again provide for better analytics. I won't go through all these, but I think you get the picture that that partnership is something that both companies invest in, and that keeps getting stronger. And so it's just a really good place to be, because it's going to continuously drive value for your customers. So a little bit of why Amazon Connect and Service Cloud Voice. So like I just went through with the partnership, right? It is better together. Amazon Connect, even in its, I would say relatively short lifespan so far versus some of the other incumbents and folks who have been in the contact center space for decades. It's been really, really impressive growth and rise, right? So I think everyone's seen over the last year or so, the Gartner, the Forrester reports that have come out that have shown Amazon moving into that top right quadrant as a recognized leader for innovation, and also for scalability and availability for customers. So some of the top brands in the world, as we just saw on our slide, are using Amazon Connect. And of course, I would say what I would consider the #1 customer service organization in the world is Amazon itself, also uses Connect. It scales very well. It's every year, I think it breaks new records for how many contacts or how many customers are serviced at once on big days like Prime Day, during the holidays, Black Friday, et cetera. So just two great solutions, and obviously Salesforce being a recognized leader for years now in the contact center space with Salesforce Service Cloud. So just bringing those two together into a native solution is a great win for customers. Like I said, very scalable, right? Handles tens of thousands of customers at once through Amazon and their large brands. And it's also future-proof, right? So one of the big things about Salesforce from its infancy, and that was very novel at the time, was committing to a set of scheduled updates every year. So Salesforce does 3 major releases a year. So customers who sign up and build their business on the platform know that they're going to always be kept up to speed on all the latest and greatest technology, and won't be left behind and won't miss updates. Amazon, same thing. I think that's actually even more frequent. So every month or so, updates to Connect. So solutions never going to get stale. But again, like I mentioned before, it's very important to have a partner and an eye towards the future to make sure that whatever solution you deploy on day one doesn't get stale on day 2 and keeps up. So being able to keep pace with that, that pace of innovation, and make sure that you're leveraging it for the business. And yeah, I guess the last thing I'll hit on here is just the intelligence leader, right? So both companies are investing heavily and are leaders in AI, and now in generative AI with the Salesforce Einstein GPT platform, and then Amazon Bedrock, right? So all the best AI can be leveraged within the platform using customer data safely and securely, and that's a big focus for both companies. And we're starting to see some of that come to fruition with Service Cloud Voice. Some really cool use cases that are actually saving customers a lot of time using generative AI. So this is my last slide here for now. I'm going to hand it over to Bobby after this to go through a little bit more on the technology side of Connect and Service Cloud Voice. But just one last thing to leave you all with kind of what it means for you, right? As far as what products on the Amazon side are actually getting hit through the deployment of Service Cloud Voice. So there is the concept of the Service Cloud Voice bundle. It bundles all these different services into one kind of comprehensive solution, so that customers don't really care what's going on in the background. They don't have to figure out how these different puzzle pieces work together. It's all packaged up, just like Salesforce sells all the rest of their products as a single SKU. But these are some of the services that when your customer goes live on Service Cloud Voice, will start to get hit. So things like obviously Connect, Comprehend, Lex, which we'll see in a second for the IVR that Bobby's going to show off, S3, so all your storage that goes along mainly with storing call records, call recordings, which are native in Service Cloud Voice, Transcribe, which helps to actually provide a live transcript while the call is going on. and then other things like Poly, Lambda, and then there's some other services that, depending on the actual configuration, are going to get hit, all the way from Contact Lens to CloudTrail, Athena, Kinesis Stream, etc. So as you can see, it's a long list of services. The customer doesn't necessarily see all these. It's kind of abstracted from them, but these are, this is kind of how all these different pieces come together and create that single SKU that we know as Service Cloud Voice. So again, I'm gonna stop here and pass it over to Bobby. And Bobby, I'll actually let you share your screen here and take over and jump into the demo after this slide.
Okay, sounds good. So thanks for that. Really helpful, and I think it leads really well into this slide. So, like Anthony mentioned, for your customers that are potentially looking at Salesforce as a future CRM or already heavily entrenched in the Salesforce ecosystem, right? This Service Cloud Voice product provides a really easy entry point for the Amazon Connect tool set that's easily consumable by them. And as we saw on the previous slide, it opens up the door to consume a lot of other services, for Salesforce customers, right? So we look at what Service Cloud Voice and Amazon Connect is providing. Salesforce is putting all of this Amazon Connect functionality into their agent desktop. And so it's providing a native experience that Salesforce can control inside of their solution and provides, their omni-channel framework along with the rest of the channels that Salesforce traditionally has been handling, like cases and SMS and things along those lines. And so what we're doing here with Service Cloud Voice is, integrating the Amazon Connect telephony stack right into Salesforce to give, users easy access to admin the platform. Allows us to use Salesforce Omnichannel with Amazon Connect so that we can, deliver calls right within the Service Console experience for the agent. So it's very similar to what they would experience on any other channel, moving away from a CTI connection. We're leveraging, like Anthony mentioned, services like Contact Lens and Kinesis Streams to provide a real-time transcription inside of the Service Console so they can see what's happening. And that also helps to provide things like agent automation and triggers. So for process automation, for providing guided workflows, for triggering processes in the back end, all of those things become possible because of turning on Contact Lens and having real-time transcription available on all of these calls. Also, we have the ability to then leverage Omnichannel Supervisor. Omnichannel Supervisor gives them that single pane of glass on the supervisor side, so kind of supplementing what's available out of the box from Connect and just providing it in a more consumable way for a Salesforce end user. And then, of course, we are streaming all of the data from Connect into Salesforce so that users who have things like CRMA or Tableau, or even the out-of-the-box Salesforce reporting and dashboard components, all of those now have access to Amazon Connect data. So this is really just enhancing and providing additional capabilities on top of all the services that Amazon is providing, through the telephony architecture and through things like Amazon Lex, to provide a more full-featured agent desktop experience, and then provide kind of the Salesforce lens on agent productivity and agent efficiency. So we're going to look at a couple of those things today in the demo. In particular, I want to walk through what we're going to see here. So we have a bank member who's going to be calling in to the IVR. We'll demonstrate a little capabilities within a Lex voice-driven experience, and that will escalate over to an agent inside the Salesforce Service Console. And so we'll kind of see at play how a call being delivered on Amazon Connect is then able to be answered by somebody inside of Salesforce, differently than how they would normally answer in sort of a CTI-based connection. And then we'll show a little bit about how Contact Lens is powering some of that real-time transcription. And then at the end, we'll dive into some reporting and analytics features as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and place a call here into my IVR, and then you guys should be able to hear that over the webinar here.
Hello, and thank you for calling NeuroFlash National Bank. Calls may be recorded for quality assurance. One moment while I look up your account. How can I help you today? You can ask me anything.
I want to check the balance on my account.
Okay. Before I provide you with the balance on your account, can you please state your full name and address for verification purposes?
Lauren Bailey, 1169 South Plymouth, Chicago, Illinois.
Thanks, Lauren. I verified your account using your voice. Your current account balance is $13,938.22. Your most recent deposit was on April 25th, 2023 for $3,000. Was this the information you were looking for?
No, it appears I'm missing some funds. I recently made a transfer.
Understood. Would you like me to get you to an agent who can help?
Yes. So as you can see, I'm pretending to be Lauren there, but we're using things like, Amazon Voice ID. We're using things like natural language understanding, various different aspects of. All right, I'm going to get this call here in a second, so I'm going to accept that. Here comes my call in Salesforce, and we'll talk about this in a second. I just want to get that accepted in the console and started here. So quickly, right, talking about Lex. For most of our projects, we do, include Amazon Lex as part of a full-featured Amazon Connect solution, right? And so that allows us to leverage things like Voice ID, customer profiles, like Anthony mentioned in the previous slide, leveraging obviously Lambda, DynamoDB, right? All of these things come together to provide that authenticated experience, whether we're looking up Salesforce data to provide in the IVR in a self-service capacity, or we're authenticating a user so that we can send them into Salesforce to the right queue or to the right agent. We're leveraging Lex in that capacity in line with Connect to provide that full service, self-service IVR experience. And then, of course, if necessary, we can then escalate into an agent, which you just saw here in Salesforce. So coming back into Salesforce now, we can see that we have our omni-channel panel here. This is where all agents accept work, similar to like an Amazon Connect CCP, except this is a Salesforce-driven tool that allows us to also integrate other channels and things like case routing and email routing directly into the same panel so that agents are accepting work all in the same place. And then the other thing that we're looking at here is the voice call record. And so the voice call record is a standard object in Salesforce that Salesforce provides that works with Amazon Connect to basically house all of the details from the CTR record in a Salesforce-driven record. That's going to help power things like reporting and analytics downstream, but also helps us to leverage things out of the box with the Salesforce data model, right? So we can see here that we already know that we're connected to Lauren. We did a screen pop based on the phone number. We have contact details here from the Salesforce contact record. And we also have information that we are pushing into a case record, right? So we know that there's an issue. It's a customer escalation from a self-service IVR, and they're looking for some issue on their account balance, and it's an inbound call with Lauren, right? So we can start to leverage Salesforce and leverage things like Lambda functions to push data into Salesforce just to provide more context to the agent as things are happening. The other thing that we'll notice here as well is that there is a real-time transcript that's happening here. And so this is, again, is powered by Contact Lens. So as the call is progressing, we're looking at what's being said on the call. If they decided to start talking about if there's an issue with the account balance, or maybe she wants to process a new payment on her mortgage or extend a payment on her mortgage as far as, like a banking scenario is concerned, that payment workflow would be something that could pop up. And so we can see here on the right-hand side with next best action that, we're presenting the agent different, processes and walkthroughs just based on what's being said in that real-time transcript that's powered by Contact Lens. And so within Salesforce now, we can then go through a workflow where we can extend a payment for Lauren, because that's something that she mentioned inside of the transcript. We can change her payment date on her mortgage and push it out a couple of weeks. And then finish that flow, right? And so that's all leveraging native Salesforce technology to power that, walkthrough. But again, that would not be possible without something like what's happening here with voice call record. The other piece of information that we are pushing into Salesforce here is the details for supervisor functionality. So if we wanted to look at, what is happening here within the contact center in a broader sense, we're publishing all of those events into Salesforce through this tool as well. So we can see things like, what kind of calls are they on, how full is their capacity. We can even do things like change their status, and this will sync back to Amazon Connect, where if we're changing their status in Salesforce, it will reflect that change in Amazon. And we also have the ability to look at the real-time transcript as a supervisor, as well as listen into the call through Amazon Connect as a third party. So all of those contact center features that are expected from a fully featured solution are here from like a Barge and Monitor and Whisper perspective, as well as they can do kind of asynchronous monitoring through the real-time transcript. We also are publishing, broader contact center metrics and queue metrics. As an example here within Salesforce, we're using all of the data from things like Kinesis streams and the Connect API to provide information to Salesforce to build things like omni-channel wallboards, right? Which are real-time wallboards that help us just to kind of get a picture of what's happening in the contact center, whether it's how many work items do I have, what is my capacity on my agents, are they idle, are they available, what present statuses are they in, how long are people waiting in queue, so we can pull in things like IVR statistics like I mentioned. So all of that sort of Connect data is being consumed here in Salesforce to kind of give a holistic solution both to agents on the call themselves and then supervisors who need to monitor at a higher level. Now, of course, when we think about what types of information are going to be available inside of Salesforce, we do have these voice call records that keep track of all of those interactions. So we can always pull up an old one, and then we can look at what happened on that call. We do have the ability to play the call here natively in Salesforce. All of this information is stored in S3 in Amazon, but we do have the ability to play the call. And what we often see too as well is, we want to leverage additional Amazon Connect features. We do give folks the ability to link out to the actual Amazon Connect CTR record directly from Salesforce. And so that's where we can start to leverage additional functionality in the platform. So here I'm linking out from Salesforce SSO directly into Amazon Connect CTR record. And then you guys are probably familiar with this, but this is where you could see things like the start and end time, the disconnect reason. We can look at things from Contact Lens, like the trend of the customer sentiment over the life of the call, the sentiment overall, agent talk time, customer talk time, and things like non-interaction time. We also have the ability now to publish the screen recording of the interaction, so we can see what was happening on the call from the screen capture solution. And then of course we have the Contact Lens features here that provide us with kind of that AI-driven solution around what was the issue, give me the summary of the transcript, what was the issue that they were calling about, what was the outcome that we provided, right? So if there was a need to have some of this data at the fingertips of the end user, we don't keep this kind of locked behind Salesforce. We can leverage the ability to go out directly to Amazon to get this information. And of course, you'll notice here also on the right-hand side that we can do things like Amazon evaluations here natively on this Salesforce voice call record, or we can build the Amazon performance evaluations. We can have scoring, and of course these can also be driven by Contact Lens themselves to do things like auto QA scoring. So these two platforms are coming together in a lot of ways, both within Salesforce to provide some out-of-the-box reporting and metrics to frontline supervisors and end users, but also making the agent desktop experience much cleaner and giving them the ability to leverage the power of Salesforce and Amazon Connect to kind of push agent efficiency and agent productivity, as well as making their lives and jobs easier by having all this information kind of in a single pane of glass in the desktop. So there's a lot of different things that we can probably dive into in a future session, Anthony. But I think this highlights, at least at a high level, kind of how the two platforms are coming together and what value they might provide to a customer who's on Salesforce but not yet leveraging the Service Cloud Voice product.
Great. So, like I said, we're going to close out with just a little bit more on how our partnership works and ways to reach out and get engaged. Really, the first thing that you should note and kind of make a mental note of is just anytime you hear Salesforce, you should call us. Like I said, we're the top partner in the space for Salesforce for this product. And we're also just generally a top partner overall, right behind the global SIs. But working with us, you still get the same expertise and skills, but we are a more quick, agile, fast company, can turn things around really quickly. So anyway, anytime you hear Salesforce, your customers are already using it and they're interested in the contact center solution, interested in Connect, give us a call. We can speak that language. We can help you qualify that deal, and help educate the customer as well. We do, Bobby, as you just saw, gives a great demo. He's very used to it. I'm sure he does probably 1 or 2 every day. And we're really proud of the speed in which we can turn those around. So we know that sometimes customers, make demands and they want to see things really quickly, or it's a fast moving cycle. We are definitely not going to slow you down. We're going to help accelerate that deal. We can turn around a custom demo with, customers' logos, their specific use cases, really quickly, in as little as probably 24 hours, 48 hours. We'll be there to give them that demo. And also, I would just say in general, right? We don't care if the deal is super qualified in your opinion at that point. We will help you do the qualification for you. So don't think that we're going to, any new opportunity you bring to us, we're going to try to, press you on, is this qualified? Is there budget, et cetera, right? We'll go in there and help do that work with you. We do want to be your partner. And we know also that like any other organization, resources are limited. So I know that, getting an SA's time and being able to do a demo or being able to qualify a deal might take a few days. We can step in and kind of be an extension of that team for you. We also are very familiar with funding mechanisms. So we rely on the MAP program. We use it very often, and we're very familiar with the kind of the ins and outs of how to apply and get that funding and secure it for customers. So definitely can help on that side of the house as well. We do have some great accelerators and some kind of spot plays as well. So one of them is the Nuance Knockout. Like I mentioned, a lot of our folks came from Nuance, and we actually built an IVR conversion tool that can really help speed up the amount of time that it takes to convert some of that old legacy VXML code over to Amazon Lex, and takes out a lot of the manual legwork and a lot of the time-consuming tasks that it takes, and sometimes makes customers hesitant to make that move over, especially if they have a old legacy IVR they spent probably years building and tweaking. As you saw on the second slide I showed, right, we have a ton of customers. Like I said, done this 200 times. So chances are, if you need a specific industry or a specific use case, we do have those stories. We have some on our website, on our blog. We post new ones all the time, but there are a lot that aren't on there. So if you ever need anything, reach out to me for that. I can definitely help figure out the best customer to refer your customer to. We do have some accelerators, like I mentioned, the spot plays, and we do have battle cards. So all your competitors, whether that's Avaya, Genesys, Cisco, we have the dirt on them, and we're happy to share them with you and help educate you to on the specific talking points that you need to go up and win that business. So yeah, like I said, I cover the East and Canada. So if you have any opportunities there, please reach out to me. If you have a deal in the West Coast or you're an SMB rep, you can reach out to my colleague, Joe Booth. Or if you're in Central, reach out to Chris. Of course, you can always contact Joanna as well. She leads our practice, leads our team, came from Amazon, was one of the first Connect sellers, and really knows the ins and outs of AWS. So happy to help. Please reach out, and I really appreciate everyone's time today. Thank you.